let's just set the stage for anyone who is not aware.
Yeah.
So basically, JAMB had in Nigeria 1.5 million students apparently failed JAMB. And when I mean failure in this sense is they didn't score above 200. So the total score in JAMB is the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Exam, is the primary examination you write before you eligible to enter any university in Nigeria. Everybody that enters any university in Nigeria writes JAMB. So it's the most important exam to enter any university in Nigeria. So people scored, I think they said 1.5, 1.9 million people wrote the exam, and only 1.5 million scored above, scored 1.5 million scored below 200. So the outcry was much, and basically students were complaining that those of them that were very brilliant, there are some people in your class, that you're expecting to see like
No, no man now.
300, 320, and the person is
Yeah.
getting 120, 130. You know that
It's
something is
surprising
off.
actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, and at the end of the day, they did their investigation and found out that it was a technical glitch. I'm using air quotes here because the whole technical glitch doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, bro?
And for some reason, majority of those failures came from one part of the country, which is I don't want
Yeah,
to go into geography or whatever
let's
it is,
let's
but
not even put a tribal spin on it. Let's even use
yeah,
more of competency,
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
I
Ideally,
believe
from
strongly
what
that there's a level of incompetence that should not be tolerated.
exactly,
Because how
exactly.
can you be so incompetent? And bro,
Hmm.
let me present something also. They also said that before this exam result was released, they found out that some of these centers had issues. There was a glitch. But rather than saying, oh, these people that had these glitches here, we will not release this result or come and receipt for the exam, they did not. Rather, they gave the impression that people failed because they were incompetent. They were not able to pass. And they were saying that the reason why people fail was because their exam malpractice systems is effective. That's the statement JAM put out. So are you saying that the reason why people fail is because your malpractice system is efficient and people who were passing before were conducting examination malpractice? Now, when you discover that these systems were faulty, why didn't you correct it? Why did you release the result already knowing that these things had issues? So it is quite troubling, honestly.
It is troubling, especially it boils down to the fact that they've always been no serious consequence to silly actions by especially people in power, people in positions whereby they're in control of certain things. It's appalling that for an exam, for something that will determine the life of millions of people, you understand. You
Mm-hmm.
understand that you had a system glitch. As you said, it's a simple things to come out and say let them rewrite the exam. But he said the confidence alone to say that what, let us release the result, nothing will happen. That confidence alone is the problem. Being able to have that confidence is actually a problem. It's not a good thing, not a good thing anywhere in the world. For it to be
Yes.
confident enough to want to put the blame on some other person because you know that nothing will happen to you is bad. And now you can imagine brilliant. So if the students didn't complain, if they didn't call out the system for what's
Mm.
going on, it means that we will just, these students are dull. These students are these people, students they didn't prepare very well for the exam. And
Mm.
so someone somewhere, or some set of people somewhere will go to their houses, kiss their wives, kiss their kids, say prayers in church on Sunday and mosque on Friday, and even go to the shrine on Saturday, living their life continuously very well, knowing that they are the reason for some other person's tears or for like it's when did we lose empathy? That's just the thing. When did we lose even that is a lot. That is Jesus, man. It's terrible to think of,
It's
honestly, because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
and I,
yeah.
we got jam now. We got jam yet many years ago. We
Mm.
know the impact, like the impact of what it. What if you fail jam? It's like like your
Yeah,
parents are going to
man.
school, man. Your parents are going to university. You can't go to university. You are home after secondary school. It means that you're a joke. Yeah, all the silly things you've done in your house, your parents' opinions on you, like this one, that one. It's the same.
Bro.
It's I know there's this Chinese exam that they have to write at a certain time also to enter university. I think in India, in India also as well. It's like the SAT, man. The whatever I said address the SAT here in the US, it's a bit different. It's a Chinese exam, but the pressure that comes with it. Because you know that this exam is what to determine your future, determine the kind of school you're going to determine if a
Exactly.
federal university will admit you or a state university will admit you. There's a lot behind that. The JAMB pressure is a lot. It's so much that I still remember it after so many years. I know how I felt when my JAMB result came out, and now somebody's toiling with it. It's bad. It's bad. Ordinarily, these people, I saw the tweets. I saw the video of the JAMB, whoever is in charge, is it the director or the registrar? He was crying. I think we should stop all this sentimental whatever, all this emotional meltdown that's what we do that we allow to happen on TV. We don't have to see your tears. That's what the people when you've done you made a mistake, you're not crying so that people will appeal to your emotions, to say that okay, you didn't know what to do. We need to start picking people who did wrong. Who is the head of technical, whatever? Who is the chairman? Who is the who? See, no, people need to and let them. We need to see their faces and their names until people get to see that there are consequences to actions. They will not correct their mistakes. You understand? And when we see that names, they should sue them to
That's
court.
true.
Class actions should be
That's
happening
true.
right now.
Let,
They should be
let,
going
let
to
me
court.
let me let me come in here quickly before we
Yeah,
move on. You see, one of the problems we have is that we don't have any consequence for action. You've outlined that.
exactly.
I remember many years ago, I saw the Korean president. I think there was
Mm,
the boat mishap. 100
yeah,
and something people died in South Korea then. I think then the
yeah.
president was a woman. I think I remember.
Mm,
This
yeah.
woman
Korea and
resigned.
Japan. What's Korea and Japan? Do you know that? Well, I know.
I think it was Korea. Either,
Okay.
but I know it was in Southeast Asia. So let me not.
Yeah.
I'll find it up. So the
Mm-hmm.
woman resigned, and that was the first time I asked myself like, this kind of competency. And anyway, their culture is rooted in competency in the sense that
Exactly.
if you're not
Exactly.
efficient, you must pay the price for
Mm,
inefficiency. I'll give you an
yeah.
example. Even their old samurais, the concept of seppuku, say
Okay.
you do not win the battle for your feudal lord, your shogunate,
Yeah.
you
Mm.
kill yourself or something. It's just like this high sense of duty, responsibility.
Exactly. That is it.
They have this sense of, oh, I failed. I must make amends. You talk of the
Mm,
yakuza. If there's something happens, they cut off a part of their finger. These are extreme examples, but I'm just trying to give you like some of the cultural nuances
yeah.
that guides their society.
Yeah.
Where
Mm,
there's action has consequence. I
true.
understand that this man, for some people, they say the JAMB registrar has been efficient, he has done well. Look, I'm not necessarily saying the man is a terrible person, but who
Yeah.
is going to be held accountable? Because you see the reason why I'm
Somebody needs
demanding
to.
accountability,
Yeah.
because they knew that it had an issue and they still released
Yeah.
that result.
Exactly.
So someone must pay
That's
the
my
price.
problem. Exactly. That's my problem. You understand? It's I know I saw a tweet that day, Seb, I sent to you. I don't know if you don't know if it's on the original jam, if it's from the original Twitter handle, but this is what the tweet read. It read, "Man proposes, God disposes."
It's
It
the
has been established.
original handle.
It has been established that a technical
What a
glitch affected this number of centers, and of 2025 UTME. This was basically responsible for the general low performance of the candidates scheduled to sit the exam of those centers. It's not first statement, Moon proposes, God disposes. It's very targeted. This example, what I told you about when people have failed, when the audacity to want to use appeal to the jump Oga or the registrar was crying. Now on Twitter they are using a religious phrase. Man
mm,
proposes, God disposes. It's as if you're trying to appeal to something in you, but you did have that thing to also want to understand that you failed though. You wanted to kill people, but now when it's time for you to face consequences of what you've done, you are literally saying, "Oh, it is God." That's why they start blaming. Oh, it is the work of the devil. You're saying man proposes, God disposes. It means that they're saying that it is God's will that people should fail. You see, now
brother.
they are accounting their failure that, oh, it is God's will that it will happen this way.
Let me tell you
Man,
something. All these things are just
man.
they are. It's not for someone like me. It doesn't. Those things cannot appeal to me. And man proposes, God disposes. I don't like it, and I don't like the introduction of religious or um
It doesn't make
JAMB.
sense.
JAMB should be the premier academic. You know,
Exactly.
there is nothing in Nigeria. We have WAEC. WAEC is West Africa. We have NECO. NECO is
Yeah.
Nigeria. JAMB is the only unified, is the highest level of unified exam we have in Nigeria. The highest level. No other unified general exam is done in Nigeria
I
except
think
JAMB.
there's for that level, but because there's GCE also, which is done. I
No,
think GCE.
those ones are not on the same scale of importance. When I
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. JAMB is what
highest
gets you
grade
to the
is
university,
JAMB.
basically. Yeah,
So
yeah.
we expect that everybody who is associated with this thing are high at the highest level of competency. One, two,
Mm.
these are true academicians. There is no
Exactly.
I am a no true academic. So the language
Exactly.
used is important. Also, if you remember I don't know if you saw that tweet also where they were talking about the fact that students were resuming by 6:30 a.m. for accreditation, where they
What?
were trying to they
God.
dismiss this
You,
man's Peter Obi's comment. I could
you
not
imagine
believe
the
what
kind
I was
of
reading. I said,
just imagine the
"Are
kind of
you
things
telling me
that
that
happen in
JAM
this.
actually wrote this thing? The
They
hand
wrote it
that wrote
all.
this thing? It was I
Yeah.
couldn't. It was unbelievable. I actually
This
had to go into the profile and check the see who are the people in the profile, whatever. Bro, it's crazy, man.
man. Yeah, it's crazy. But I think what I have to say, like in conclusion to that episode, this jam debacle or whatever it is, or saga, or whatever it is, that it is very evident that we have some level of nonchalance, some level of of we have people who our systems that were meant to serve the people are now corrupting. The corruption is now being shown out without any form of any form of empathy. Just showing out like, what will you do? This I don't care attitude is just there. They need to be. We need to start pointing out these people. Now it's no longer we should blame Jam. Let us blame who is the person involved. Who is this person? We need to have that. And our justice system. I don't know what's happening, but they need to start working. People need to start seeing that for every negative thing you do, for every good thing you do, there are consequences to our actions. But I don't know what they're encouraging the young ones to do right now. But I think they need to really fix up. Somebody needs to answer for all these things that Jam has caused. Somebody needs to answer for it.